With the 2024 season opening on Sunday and the Carolina Panthers looking to build on the momentum that they generated in the one preseason drive that the starters actually participated in offense, the Carolina Panthers take their show into New Orleans hoping to start anew. Want to find out if they favored well? Stay tuned to Growlin' and Prowlin'. Welcome back, Panther Nation. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Mr. CeeLo, and I kind of wish things were different. As the Carolina Panthers, not only did they lose the football game, they lost it horribly. Not to mention that we may have lost our best player for the remainder of the season. But before I get into that, let's get into this horrendous showing. 47-10 was the final, as the New Orleans Saints racked up 22 first downs, only 199 yards in the air, but 180 yards on the ground. Not to mention we turned it over 3 times. And honestly, guys, the route was on from the first drive on. The Panthers got down 7-0, and Bryce Young proceeded to throw an interception on his first pass of the season, and then he proceeded to throw an interception on the first pass of the second half.
Damn you!
Bruh.
All in all, it was, you've heard the stories, you already know, so everybody's going to say, why am I chipping in so late? Well, it's easy. I have a fan base as well, and I'm sure people wanted to hear it, but there's plenty of room to go around. Everybody gave props to Xavier Legette's game. I got to give Adam Thielen props as well. Deontay Johnson was absolutely covered well. And Jonathan Mingo, brother, as much as I admire your game, you have to hold on to the football. You're going to have guys punching at it now. The first thing they're going to say is, go at it. You got Butterfingers, go at him. Probably the one thing that I think everybody's going to walk away from this game is they're going to talk about Bryce Young. 13 of 30, 161 yards. And I know people from McAfee on up have said what they've had to say, talking about he's terrible, he's this and that. Where I'm at with Bryce is I didn't like a lot of the play calls Canellis had. I really didn't. I thought watching preseason, there were going to be a lot more of the crossers. You had a lot of plays where things were just going across the mid-middle and the outside. That is not, we've already saw last year, he struggles there. Where Bryce Young is at his best is where we saw in preseason, where we're getting him design plays to go to the outside, plays where he's crossing up guys. This is what we need from Bryce Young. This is what he's supposed to do. It looks to me like they're doing more and more of the things that this guy does not like to do or he's not good at.
Dumb shit! Dumb shit!
Canellis is saying it's execution. No, run the stuff that you ran in that preseason game. Get him out on the boundary.
Why don't you explain it to me?
I'll explain it to you.
Yeah, I get it. New Orleans did a great job of cutting that off. But guess what you need to do? You need to run screens against that.
Outstanding.
Run those screens. Over aggressive outside, there needs to be somebody coming out the boundary. There needs to be somebody right behind where he went. Simple. Now, I get it. We were running short on tight ends. Hopefully, we can get back Tommy Tremble. We need our tight ends back. And ultimately, we have got to start doing more motion. And I would like to have seen... Well, I didn't understand why Bryce had 31 throws when we only ran the ball 20 times. Miles Sanders had 5 for 22. Chuba had 6 for 14. I can tell you exactly why we only had 14 yards with Chuba Hubbard. We had a 7-yarder early. And New Orleans just said, hey, we're going to stick everything in the box. This is where you got to get shiftiness if you're going to run the football. Because New Orleans is not going to beat you with 5 in the box. They're going to have all 7 of the guys coming in the line of scrimmage when it looks like a run. Contrary to what the Saints did, the Saints were making sure they had every hat on a hat and climbing to the next level. We didn't have that. Too many times it was a hat on a hat, 2 hats on a hat, and you had linebackers that were just roaming free, filling gaps. Now, that all could change predicated on the next thing that we're going to talk about in a moment. But all in all, I blame Bryce for not reading blitzes, which is what his strong point is supposed to be. Cerebral. That was what they drafted him on, was being cerebral. That is what was supposed to put him miles ahead of C.J. Stroud.
What the You want answers?
This is where Bryce Young's got to look himself in the mirror and he's got to say, I got to be better and I'm going to be better. This has got to stop. Not seeing where the safety blitz is coming. Guys, this was a safety and a corner blitz. You cannot not read where the safety or the corner is coming. You have to know where your hot read is. That is imperative as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. Now, as far as the defense is concerned, it explains a lot. I would imagine Derek Brown was hurt early in this game because he made a few plays. And so many of you may not know, Derek Brown possibly tore his meniscus. And the Panthers have put him on IR all but ending his season. What's this defense going to look like? It's got to look better than this. I don't know what the Panthers and Dan Morgan plan to do. But right now, guys like Jadeveon Clowney, not cutting it. Not cutting it. Because the reality of it is, too many times the defensive edge was not set. We miss you, Edo Gross-Matos. Shaq Thompson had 10 tackles. Ashawn Robinson had a good game. He had 9 tackles. Xavier Woods had 8 tackles. Michael Jackson was also a bright spot in this game as he had several pass breakups. Was very active on the outside. I'm very impressed with this young man. He is very active, and I'm very much impressed with him. As I said, not much to... Oh, I'm sorry. Eku Leota also picked up a sack. Whereas the Panthers' offensive line gave up 4 sacks, and Alani Taylor, the young cornerback from Tennessee for New Orleans, had 3 of them. Seemed like every single time that Bryce missed the assignment, here he was. Now, one time wasn't his fault. It was Miles Sanders who just got absolutely blown up by a lightweight.
That was pathetic.
And see, this is one of those things a lot of coaches say is the reason why you want a big quarterback. It's because these 198-pound cornerbacks are going to have a nightmare trying to bring them down. Whereas Bryce, who weighs just about as much as this young man, no chance. But as I said, guys, Derek Brown, torn meniscus, more than likely done for the year. Last I checked, he was possibly going to get a second opinion, but the Panthers had placed him on IR, all but ending his season. This is huge, but I'm disappointed in Dave Canellis. I'm disappointed in Bryce Young. And it goes back to the same old thing that I told you guys, and many of y'all disagreed with me. We don't want to get him hurt in preseason. Well, guess what? Derek Brown just got hurt week 1.
My foot up your ass, you dumb mother. Say it, say it.
No more than what you guys talked about. Guess what? Brown's probably done for the year. I don't think he played a snap in preseason. I don't think he played a snap. So yeah, all you Panther fans that sat there and gave me the business about, oh, we don't need to play him in preseason. Guess what? Now we got 16 games without him. And we got our butts kicked. So where are we left at now? You still disagree with me? Let me know down below. And if you join the channel off of this show, guys, please put your name down in the comments. Just say, I subscribed.
Cut it out.
Or good content, Mr. CeeLo, I joined. Also, go to the also go to the Facebook page of the same name, Growlin' and Prowlin', as well as go to my personal Instagram at Mr. CeeLo. But until the next time, keep prowling the airwaves and keep growling out. Keep pounding.